Alright guys, so today we're going to check out the Oladance OWS Sports earphone. This is basically one of those sport round the neck type of devices that's similar to what Shokz or Aftershokz has released. And this is the first product like this from Oladance. They've mainly just done the separate ear hook type earphones. This is a company that's kind of come out of nowhere when it comes to the OWS type of technology, which is an open wearable stereo sound. It's where it's not in your ear canal, it's not blocking anything, and it's basically making it where you can be aware of your environment. Now, Oladance is going all in this pair and in this type of technology. They think this is the future. They think that true wireless earbuds are not the way to go. They think that that's going to damage your ears over time, and it just kind of keeps you separated from the world around you. So I definitely get why they make the products that they make. And this pair, in my opinion, is definitely competing with Shokz. There you have some pairs that are in that same price range. These do come in at $179. Now these are available in several different colors, which you can see on their site. I'll have all of this linked in the description. And the first thing you're going to want to do is download their app, because this is what allows you to keep these updated. There are some EQ options in here, but I'll tell you later why that maybe not as important as you would think it would be. But some other features that these have is it's using Bluetooth 5.1, which I felt was interesting because all of their other products are using Bluetooth 5.2 and Bluetooth 5.3. So it was kind of weird that this one is using 5.1, but you do get multi-point connection. It also has a Qualcomm chip in here that's giving you aptX HD playback. Now in the app, if you decide that you want to listen to the aptX HD, it will keep you from using the multi-point connection. So you kind of have to decide if you want to be able to connect to multiple devices or if you want the best Bluetooth codec that you can get out of these. And that's basically giving you lossless audio. It also has a home theater chip in here, which is saying that it's going to cut down latency. So if you're going to use this pair for watching movies or TV shows, you want to make sure there's no lag or anything like that. That's where this would come into play. But it's also adding a spacious sound to these. Now, the fact that they're already an open ear design means they're going to be spacious, but it's saying that it's giving you like a 360-degree type sound. And again, that's something we'll talk about once we get into the sound. Now, these are coming in at IPX8 rated, so they are completely waterproof, which means you can use them wherever. If you happen to drop them in the pool, it's not a pair that's just going to automatically get damaged. And that's a nice touch because this pair is pretty much made to be able to use in a bunch of different situations. Now, as far as what all comes in the box, it actually comes with a really nice hard case. It reminds me a lot of like the Beats Studio case, which is kind of odd. I didn't expect such a large case for this type of product. Inside the case, there's also a compartment that houses the proprietary charging cable it comes with. It is one of those like magnetic cables, which means you just kind of snap it onto the side. And this is what allows you to charge the earphones. And the battery life is actually pretty impressive. Now, on a full charge, you can get 15 hours on these, but it also has a fast charge feature where a 15-minute charge will get you 5 hours. Now, that's some of the best fast charging I've seen on anything that's not an actual pair of headphones, so that's a huge plus. And then the actual design and the build quality of these, it's a very lightweight pair of earphones. We're going to call them earphones. It's one that basically once it's on, it's easy to kind of forget that it's there. And that is pretty impressive, especially considering that this thing is hanging over your ear and kind of just hanging over your ear canal. Now, nothing is inserted into your ear canal. It's relying on air conduction technology, which really is just a speaker pointed in the direction of your ear canal. It also says that this pair is using an anti-sound leakage technology. Really, what that's trying to say is you can hear things pretty loudly, but nobody around you can hear what you're listening to. And this is true for the most part. I feel like once you get about 75% volume and higher, people can start to hear that you're listening to something. I don't think they could really pick up the detail of what you're listening to, So that actually is impressive because these do get quite loud. And it also has a wind reduction mode. So if you are going to use this pair and you're out running on a windy day, or if you're riding a bike, the wind is not going to affect what you're listening to. And that's important because a lot of earbuds are actually affected by wind noise. And this isn't something that a lot of companies usually offer a feature to try to block some of that out. Now, the controls on here are pretty simple. On the left-hand side, you have like a main function button. This is really what allows you to play, pause, skip your tracks forward, go backwards. And on the right-hand side is where your power button is located, and it's also where you would control your volume. It's super simple to control this, and they do give you controls over everything out of the box. Although within the app, you still can go in and switch around the controls if you want to. Now, if you are going to use this pair for taking phone calls, I feel like the mics on here are very good, and it's also using a noise reduction on the phone call. So if you're in a noisy environment, it's going to block a lot of that out. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is a mic test using the Oladance Sport, and as you can tell, it does a really good job of picking up my voice, especially with the mic being so far back away from me. So this is just to give you an idea of what it would sound like if you were to take a call. So now let's talk about the sound. Now these are using 10mm drivers. In fact, it's the same drivers that they're using in their Pro model, which comes in at $229. And these are definitely loud, but where their marketing, I think, gets these wrong is it says it has boosted bass. And I think when people see boosted bass or extra bass or anything like that, you're usually going to go into a product expecting to feel bass, expecting basically like that subwoofer type feel. And I do not feel like that's what this pair is capable of. I think it does a fantastic job when it comes to the details of the mids and the treble. I mean, I had no issues hearing subtle things. You could hear vocalists extremely clean. They definitely feel like the vocalists are pushed up front, which makes it really good for podcasts, movies, TV shows, anything where it's like vocal driven. I absolutely enjoyed using this pair for. In fact, the acoustic instruments had a lot of detail, and the treble kind of has like a brighter tone to it. Now, it's not harsh. It's not like ear fatiguing or anything to listen to, but it definitely seems like that is where the focus is, just being able to hear everything clearly, hearing it cleanly, hearing details. And the bass has a slight punch to it. And the reason I'm being a little picky about this, I know that most open ear design, especially like air conduction technology, normally doesn't have bass. But I have tested some products in the under $100 or under $50 when it comes to this type of technology that has actually produced some pretty impressive bass. So these lack when it comes to the low end. This is not a pair like if you mainly listen to hip hop or metal where you like to feel the drums. It just does not produce that as well as a pair of true wireless earbuds. And that's kind of to be expected. But again, I've seen it done in some other open ear style earphones, headphones, whatever you want to call them. So that's why I'm definitely going to knock these when it comes to the low end. But because they're so detailed and because of the design that they have, this is probably one of the most spacious sounding products that I've tested. I don't know if it's the 360-degree audio that they're marketing on their website, but you can definitely tell where different sounds are coming from, and it really just makes you feel like you're in this large concert hall if you're listening to music, or if you're watching a movie, it definitely feels like you're in that environment because there's nothing that's closing you in. It definitely has a wide open feel to it. So it's really incredible to listen to these with certain things and honestly certain genres. This is not a pair that I would just use across the board for everything. And I think because of the lack of the low end, it's definitely going to keep me from using this as like a main pair for anything. I do like bass. I'm definitely in that bass head category. And so, with hip hop and pop and metal, it just kind of feels like it's lacking a little bit, but it definitely does not lack in detail. So if that's what you're looking for and you're looking for something that you can go out and be active and not be like isolated from everything that you need to hear, like traffic in a work environment. If you need to hear people talking, this is definitely a pair that checks that box. But if you want to be isolated, or if you just want to feel your music because you like a punchy low end, that's where I don't feel like these deliver. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Oladance OWS sports earphone that's available as of today. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.